So how long does it take to get good at shooting a slingshot? Stick around and I'd like to attempt to answer this question. Thank you for clicking on this video and welcome to 411 Outdoors. My name is Daniel Irvin and this channel is devoted to all kinds of outdoor stuff. I love a lot of things. I love slingshots, I love archery, I love knife throwing, I love shooting, I love shepherd slinging, backpacking, camping, nature walking, and everything. And this channel is devoted to all of that stuff. If you find this information helpful or resourceful, I would be super pumped to have you as a subscriber. Now let's get started. Just for the record, if my bandage is a huge distraction, this is a knife throwing wound and I'm trying to nurse myself back to health. Yesterday I did a video on knife thrower safety and this injury inspired that video. So let's talk about slingshots. Listen, if you want to get into slingshots, you've chosen something that is a lot of fun. It's got a lot of reward, a lot of versatility, and a lot of cool things you can do. Maybe you're new to the world of slingshots and you're asking the question, how long is it going to take me to get good at this? It depends on what you consider good, because what one person considers good, another person considers novice. For you, good might be being able to hit a 2-liter bottle from 20 feet away, and I think that's cool if that's what you can do. Maybe it's hitting cans. The game changes a little bit when you start talking about wanting to hit cans from 20 feet away. Maybe you want to hit little spinners. Maybe you want to get into hunting. In my opinion, hunting is the highest level of slingshot shooting. That's just my opinion, because when you're out there and you're dealing with life, you know, you want to be humane in your hunting, you want to be quick and accurate, and it takes a lot of training to get to that point. So it just depends on what you consider to be good. No matter what level of slingshot shooting you're going for, in order to be good, first and foremost, you're going to have to ask yourself how much you want to do this. How committed are you to learning? In my community, I know a lot of people. It's not too small, it's not too big, but I know a lot of people, and I personally don't know of anyone else in my community that's into shooting slingshots on a regular basis. So it's also my opinion that if you've chosen slingshots as a hobby, you're into something that's fairly original, something that you're not going to find a whole lot of people doing. Now, on a worldwide level, there's a lot of people doing slingshots. I'm a part of social media communities. I've met a lot of great people here on YouTube that love slingshots. There's a lot of people out there that do it. But if you're a slingshot shooter in your community, you may discover that there's not a whole lot of people around you that even want to do that. I've had a lot of people come around and give it a try. They've seen me doing it. I've had functions, and one of the things I've noticed is that, you know, people get into it and they get discouraged really quickly because right off the bat, they discover that slingshots is not something that you can just grab and typically be good at right away. It takes a lot of commitment. You got to know why you're getting into it, why you want to do it, and you got to be willing to stick with it and put in the time. The next level to getting good at a slingshot is finding a tool that you can work with. For me, one day I just got the itch to get into it. I was into archery really heavy, and just that ended up leading into the desire to get into slingshots. I went out, I bought a wrist rocket. I didn't even know how to shoot gangster. I had never even heard of people shooting gangster style from the side. I just always thought of slingshots as boom, you know, a little fork that you shoot straight through. I had not even been introduced to any of the styles. I went out and got a wrist rocket, and listen, I practiced and practiced and practiced and couldn't hit the broadside of a barn with it. And for a little while, I got discouraged. Later saw some videos on YouTube that got me pumped up about it again. I was watching guys shoot, you know, these handheld catapults from the side, and they were just nailing targets. So I started doing some research and ended up getting familiar with the company Simple Shot. Ended up finding slingshots that I could use. I ended up finding slingshots that felt good in my hand, and I learned how to shoot sideways, and that was the ultimate game changer. So you're gonna need to find a slingshot that works for you and try out some of the different methods of aiming. So once you have made your mind up that you really want to do it and that you're willing to stick with it, and then you find your slingshot that works for you, that feels good in your hand, that you can shoot well. Number 3 is going to depend upon how much practice you're willing to put in. You need a lot of practice. You need a lot of time shooting. Just get out and enjoy it. Get out and make time for it, because the more you shoot, the better you're going to get, because you're going to start seeing where the object is flying with regards to your aiming method, and you can make adjustments. You can get online and watch tutorials on aiming. There's all kinds of different ways that you can get good, but there's not going to be any replacement for practice. You're going to need lots of practice. You need the ability to shoot a lot. That's why I say just spend the money and get a lot of clay ammo. Get a lot of clay ammo. It's cheaper. You can shoot it away. You can shoot it in different directions. It's, you know, not harmful to the environment. Learn how to make a catch box if you've got steel ammo that you want to preserve, and shoot into that catch box. I've put me one in the basement. I shoot from all the way across the basement. So I am constantly shooting, constantly out practicing, and that is going to be the third step. You need to practice, 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 and how good you get is going to be dependent upon how much time you're willing to put into practice. So I want to conclude by answering your question. How long does it take? Not long. It just depends on your level of passion and how much you enjoy it and how much you're willing to go after it. Once you make your mind up, you're going to do it. Once you get the right slingshot, once you put in the practice, you're going to discover that you're having success very early, and you're going to want to go higher and higher the more you get into it. You may have got into this thing just wanting to hit bottles and cans, but trust me, you're going to want to challenge yourself to hit more, and that's going to take more and more practice. Don't get discouraged when you miss. Just keep shooting and developing your consistency. I will give you my own personal testimony as far as slingshots are concerned. I've only been doing this for a year and a half. I've been shooting slingshots for a year and a half, and I finally feel like I am at a hunter's level, because I heard Nathan from Simple Shot say that you need to be able to hit, you know, quarter size objects, you know, at about 80%. You know, that takes a lot of work. I've gotten to the point where I'm hitting very small objects at about 70 to 80% of the time, which makes me feel comfortable enough to go out and hunt. I actually have not hunted yet. I'm considering doing it this fall. It's something I want to get out and do, and I just wanted to give you my own personal level to answer your question. You might be hunt ready a lot sooner than I am. I just really wanted to put in the time and the practice and measure my own consistency. So it doesn't take long to get good at shooting slingshots, as long as you really want to do it, as long as you get the right tool to work with, and as long as you put in the time. You're going to find out that you're getting good at this really quick. Just be willing to take the time to find out where you're, you know, coming up short, and just tweak those areas and keep working, my friend, and keep enjoying this, because if you enjoy it, you'll do well at it. Take care.